The 22 immutable, the 22 immutable. No, that's not right. What is it? Thank you, Internet. Now I got it. The 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. Violate them at your own risk, by Ries and Jack Trout. Now let's look at that Internet definition of immutable one more time. It says unable to change, and this book is about marketing. Well, here we go. Accept the fact that there are laws of marketing, immutable laws of marketing, laws that are unable to be changed. And if you learn and understand these laws of marketing, you can use it to your benefit. Law number 1, the law of leadership. It's better to be first than it is to be better. A big mistake that many people believe about marketing is that the basic issue in marketing is convincing prospects that you have the best product or service. That is just not the case. The basic issue in marketing is creating a category you can be the first in. It's much easier to get in the mind first of a prospect than it is to try to convince that prospect that you have a better product than the person that got there first. Law number 2, the law of category. If you can't be the first in a category, set up a new category you can be the first in. If you weren't able to get into your prospect's mind first, don't give up hope. Just simply find a new category that you could be the first in. This is really not as difficult as you might think. Law number 3, the law of the mind. It's better to be the first in the mind than it is to be first in the marketplace. This law follows the law of perception. If marketing is a battle of perception, not product, then the mind takes precedence over the marketplace. Law number 4, the law of perception. Marketing is not a battle of products, it's a battle of perceptions. Marketing is a manipulation of perceptions. It's an illusion. There is no objective reality. There are no facts, there are no best products. All that exists in the world of marketing are perceptions in the minds of the customers and the prospects. Law number 5, the law of focus. The most powerful concept in marketing is owning a word in the prospect's mind. If a prospect thinks of a word and then automatically thinks of your brand or product, then you win. A great example of this is the YouTuber MatPat with his channels Game Theory and Film Theory. Now, as a fan of his, whenever I hear the word theory, I automatically think of his channels. So he did a great job with this law, the law of focus. Law number 6, the law of exclusivity. Two companies cannot own the same word in a prospect's mind. When a competitor owns a word or a position in a customer's mind, it is pointless to attempt to own the same word. Law number 7, the law of the ladder. The strategy to use depends on which rung you occupy on the ladder. Most marketing people often talk about the 3 leading brands in a category as if it was a battle of the equals. It's almost never equal. The leader inevitably dominates, the number 2 brand and the number 3 brand inevitably are smoother than the 4, 5, or 6 brand. Now this strategy is great if you're seeking to get 2nd or 3rd place next to a leading brand by associating yourself with them on the ladder. Law number 8, the law of duality. In the long run, every market becomes a 2-horse race. Customers believe that marketing is a battle of products. It is precisely this type of belief and this type of perception that makes it so. Law number 9, the law of the opposite. If you're shooting for 2nd place, your strategy is determined by the leader. Remember, in strength, there is always weakness. Where the leader is strong, there is an opportunity for 2nd place to turn the tables. A business or brand or company should leverage the leader's strength into a weakness. Law number 10, the law of division. Over time, a category will divide and become 2 or more categories. A great example of this is the electric dance music genre. Started out as just techno or electric dance music, but has divided into so many subcategories: house, dubstep, trap, chill step, so on and so forth. And there is a specific reason for each of their existence. Law number 11, the law of perspective. Marketing effects take place over an extended period of time. With this law, you want to utilize your patience and your effective persistence. Law number 12, the law of line extension. There's an irresistible pressure to extend the equity of the brand. Do not spread yourself too thin. Less is more. If you want to be successful today, you have to narrow your focus in order to build a position in the prospect's mind. Law 13, the law of sacrifice. You have to give up something in order to get something. This law is the opposite of the law of line extension. To be successful today, you should give something up. There are 3 things to sacrifice: product line, target market, and constant change. Law 14, the law of attributes. For every attribute, there is an opposite effective attribute. Remember that marketing is a battle of ideas. So if you are to succeed, you must have an idea or an attribute of your own to focus your efforts around that. Law 15, the law of Candor. When you emit a negative, the prospect will give you a positive. You have to prove a positive statement to the prospect's satisfaction. No proof is needed for a negative statement. Law number 16, the law of singularity. In each situation, only one move will produce substantial results. Think about how so many people became huge on social media because of one video. Whether they did this consciously or unconsciously, that is the law of singularity in action. Law number 17, the law of unpredictability. Unless you write your competitors' plans, you cannot predict the future. Failure to forecast competitors' reaction is a major reason for marketing failures. Law number 18, the law of success. Success often leads to arrogance, and arrogance to failure. Ego is the enemy of successful marketing. What you need is objectivity. When people become successful, they tend to become less objective. And when you are blind, it is indeed hard to focus. Law number 19, the law of failure. Failure is to be expected and also accepted. Admitting a mistake and not doing anything about it is extremely bad for your career. A better strategy is to recognize failure early and cut your losses. Law number 20, the law of hype. The situation is often the opposite of the way it appears in the press. When things are going well, a company doesn't need the hype. And when they need the hype, it usually means that they're in trouble. Law number 21, the law of acceleration. Successful programs are not built on fads, they are built on trends. A fad is a wave in the ocean, and a trend is the tide. A fad gets a lot of hype, and a trend gets very little. When a fad disappears, a company often goes into deep financial shock. It's better to ride the trends than to rely on a fad. And the last law, Law 22, the law of resources. Without adequate funding, an idea won't get off the ground. Now, even the best idea in the world won't go very far if you don't have the money to get it off the ground. Marketing is a game fought in the mind of the prospect, and you need the money to get into the mind of the prospect. An idea without money is worthless. So be prepared to give away a lot for funding. In marketing, the rich often get richer because they have the resources to drive their ideas into the mind. The biggest problem with this is separating the good ideas from the bad one. So the idea is to stop spending money on bad ideas. The 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. Now, to quote the authors, they end it like this: if you violate the immutable laws, you run the risk of failure. If you apply the immutable laws, you run the risk of being bad-mouthed and even ignored. Have patience. The immutable laws of marketing will help you achieve success. And success is the best revenge of all. Thank you so much for checking out this video, wherever you happen to be. Also, help this channel reach its goal of over 1 million subscribers. So hit the subscribe button and comment below whatever law you found to be the most interesting, and also whatever immutable marketing law you need more explanation on, because I'm more than willing to help you out with further explanation on it. Lastly, as a quick FYI, check out TridentLion Gaming. It's a gaming channel that I have where I compile a bunch of gaming footage and I arrange it to different music videos, and I call it VGMV, which is video gaming music videos. And I also have book rants where I just go on book rants and just talk about a book while I have gameplay in the background. So be sure to check that out. I'll have a link in the description below. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.